These are my art supply essentials. I use a long green pencil case which I've had for a little over a year. I really like this because for my materials that are a bit long, like my markers, it fits everything. The first item in my pencil case is this blue Faber-Castell ballpoint pen, which I use for a majority of my sketches. I really like this ballpoint pen because it's easy to control with different pressure, and it makes the sketches just all come together. This next pen is a Pentel 0.7 black ink pen. I don't necessarily use this for sketching, however it is really good for writing. This next item is my pencil. I've actually had this for about 8 years now, maybe a little more than that actually. And this is from Muji. I got this in San Francisco when there was an in-person store, and it's been my favorite pencil to sketch with since then. Of course, if you're going to use a pencil, you have to have some erasers. This is a kiwi eraser. Now you might think a kiwi eraser, is that even good? I can guarantee it actually is, and I have this other eraser as well that I also use for writing. This is another ballpoint blue pen. I actually just got this from work and it works quite well. This is one of my favorite art supplies to use. It's a Lamy fountain pen. My friend actually gifted this to me, so shout out to my friend. And it's really great to use because of the amount of pressure and control you're able to have. You can have thin or thick lines, more apparent, non-apparent lines, and it's also refillable as well, so we never have to worry about not having enough ink. I also have some videos of me sketching with this pen. The next item is a Pentel Pocket brush pen. Now literally in its name, it is the size of what can actually fit in your pocket. I really like this because when I used to do comic drawings, I would use this all the time, and not only do I find it very easy to use, but you can also refill it. I really like this pocket brush pen because when I'm sketching people in real life, referencing from real life, I find that it's really easy to use and control. In the case that you run out of ink, like I did here, you can also replace it with getting other ink fillers. If you're a comic artist, for example, I think this is a really great material to use. For all of my micron pen lovers, this pen is for you. This is the Two Hands pigment liner, I believe, and if you like to use micron pens, this is a really great alternative. It's cheaper and does the same job. This is a Mono Zero clickable eraser. I find this very helpful when I need to get into the details of my pencil drawings and sketches. It does last quite a long time. I don't think I've ever had to replace the eraser just yet. I've had these mild liner highlighters for years. I want to say about more than 4 years, and I've recently been using them again so that I can sketch and add some color into my sketchbook. I like these highlighters specifically because not only is there a pen tip but also a brush tip. This is a random highlighter. I'm pretty sure I got this from work, but I really like this highlighter for when I'm reading. I can annotate, and if I want to add lighting to my sketches, it works perfectly. This is another blue pen that I got from work. It seems like all of my materials are coming from my workplace, but I swear they're not, and they're also free, so I do use them for reading, writing, and I really like this blue pen because it's also a supplement to my ballpoint. This is a random washi tape roll that I got from Thailand. I just needed something for my journal, and this is my favorite watercolor palette. I use it for all of my watercolor paintings, and it is so versatile because not only can I do just quick sketches with the watercolors, but I can also do more intricate paintings as well. As you can see, I use this watercolor palette quite a lot. It is messy, but I do just reuse the colors that's already on the palette. This is the Winsor Newton Cotton watercolor palette. I love this so much because the colors, there's just something about these watercolors that make your painting so much better. I honestly do think your watercolors do matter. This was not my first palette. I did use, I want to say, like a dollar store watercolor palette, and as I continued my art journey, improved, I then was able to purchase this Winsor Newton watercolor palette. These are watercolor brushes, and you put actual water in it instead of the regular usual watercolor or painting brushes where you just dip it in a cup of water. I really love these brushes because they're perfect for traveling on the go. You can empty them, put water in them. It is a bit tough to use because I feel that when you use one color and you paint with another, it does change up the color a bit and it might not be quite what you want, but I think that's also the fun of it, and again, they're for on the go, for traveling, and I also think you can find these at the dollar store. If you're someone who loves to travel or always take your supplies with you, I highly recommend purchasing these. If I'm not on the go, then I use these paintbrushes. I actually got some of these from Daiso. I know they're not as much quality as other brushes, but I do think they do the job. The other brushes, I have no idea where I got them from. This is a watercolor paper pad. My sister actually brought me this from Japan. I find the paper so good because look at that texture, and you're able to layer so much on it. Your paper absolutely does matter because the more water it can hold, the better, because it means you're able to layer more colors in. I tend to also cut my paper in half. I find myself painting on a smaller canvas, but maybe one day I will paint on a bigger canvas. This is a Canson sketchbook. I really like this because you're able to tear out the paper. It's just a regular sketchbook with a lot of paper, and because you're able to tear it away, I actually bring it to my hangouts with my friends if I'm traveling, so we all can draw together, and it just makes life easier because you can tear out the pages. This is one of my sketchbooks that I actually recently finished, so sketchbook tour coming soon. I love the sketchbook because of the paper. It doesn't really ghost, nor does it bleed, and this is my first time purchasing this kind of sketchbook. I got it from Thailand. I think it's a Sekai sketchbook. I've never heard of that brand before, but here are a few sketches that I've done. I have a video on this as well. This sketch was done with the blue Faber-Castell ballpoint pen. Again, it's my favorite, or one of my favorite pens to sketch with in my sketchbook. I did a video series on sketching the animals I saw at the California Academy of Sciences, and throughout the entire video series, I used this blue ballpoint pen. This next sketch was done with the Muji pencil that I showed earlier. Again, I've had this for about a little over 8 years now, around there, and it just made the sketch come together because I'm able to control the amount of pressure I use. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Please like, subscribe, comment, follow me on all my social medias, and I'll see you next time for the sketchbook tour.